Hey guys, Liquid here, and welcome back to Let's Answer Some Questions. Where post questions below, and I'll answer them next week. I almost said where last left off. Um, First off, it's not really a question, but Nerdimation says, "I've been watching your channel for 5 years, and I'm about to say you're still making amazing content." To which I say to Nerdimation, "Thank you very much." You know, oftentimes it's easy to be making videos and just kind of get the feeling, is it really worth it, or do people really care? But every once in a while, like when a comment like this, that's obviously like a well-written comment. That's not just like cool, like show like seems was like some has some air of originality or whatever. Um, knowing that people do watch and whatnot, it's a it's a good feeling. XX hashtag XXS. Are you ever going to do any other Spider-Man games or even replay any? And if not, can you play the new one? Well, okay, so to break down, because there's sort of like three questions here. Am I going to do any other Spider-Man games or even replay any? This even makes me seem like you're disgruntled with the lack of Spider-Man on my channel. Like, are you even gonna do any more Spider-Man? Like, I'm not sure that's what you meant really by it, but that's like the feeling I got. Um, So am I going to do any other Spider-Man games? Now, really, like I haven't. I'm trying to think of like other Spider-Man games there are that I've not done yet, which I can think of like certain things like different versions of games that I've already played, like Spider-Man 2 on Game Boy Advance or something like that. But for the most part, I feel like I've done most Spider-Man games there are. Um, but you know, if I can think of another one that I've not done at some point, I will probably try to get to it. Or even replay any. And this is actually a question that I've gotten quite a few times. Now, and usually actually is just to also add on, um, you know, I kind of for me consider all the superhero let's play type things related, not just Spider-Man. So like, I just recently did Hulk or whatever. So to me, that's kind of my superhero quota filled. I know it's not Spider-Man, but I did actually speaking of that also, I did just do Spider-Man for the Atari 2600. Um, when I say just do, I mean like that's probably like a month or so ago now. But it's not like there's been a massive dearth of Spider-Man. I don't think on my channel. Um, but or even replay any. This is a question that I've gotten a few times. Um, Now would I replay? Would I replay any Spider-Man games? It's always like a it could be a fun idea. But right now I don't really have any immediate plans to do so. Like because right now I've got so many more games that I want to do that I'd rather focus on doing new Let's Plays, of games that I've not done rather than just kind of doing the same things over and over again. Like I've done replays of Spider-Man 1 and 2 for PS1, like with what if mode, and then like replays of Spider-Man 1 for or Spider-Man for the Spider-Man the movie game plays the Green Goblin, and in those it's kind of like the gameplay was different because what if mode is like a different thing. Playing as the Green Goblin is a different thing, but like how many times can you really change stuff up like but your request is noted and whatnot, but like I said, I would not hold off on the replays. I would say would be farther off than just like a regular Spider-Man game. I could probably do a Spider-Man game in the near future, but I wouldn't really count on doing replays anytime too soon. And if not, can you play the new one? And the new one probably I would say, as is probably the most requested game. Like I probably have a request for it on every single one of these videos. And when it comes out, and I probably will not play it immediately, but uh, it probably will be something I look into at some point. Red Hood 440 asks, you should play. It says you should play the South Park games. Now, I believe I have like I'm not sure if like I've had this question before, but I'm getting like deja vu. Um, when I think of the South Park games, honestly, like I'm assuming that you mean like on further like thinking about it, I think you probably mean like Stick of Truth type thing. But when I think South Park games, I actually the first thing that comes to my mind is a South Park for the Nintendo 64, which I think I did play a little bit of, but I've not played Stick of Truth, but I've heard it is quite nice. Derpy Noob 06 asks, "What is your favorite anime?" Mine is Bleach. Right. So I would say if I had to pick, right, there are some answers I feel that are kind of almost legacy. Like I'm gonna give some answers, but when some of them are kind of like legacy answers, where are they really my favorite, or do they just mean a lot to me sentimentally? Um, I'd say one of those is Dragon Ball, just because I have a lot of just nostalgia for it, and like it's just one of those things I can go back to and just always get that nostalgia. One is Touch, which is like a lesser known anime about baseball, basically, and it has like dear like sentimentality for me, because like that was a I was watching that when I started learning Japanese, and so it's kind of like going back to it now, knowing that when I first watched this, I was just watching English subtitles, not understanding anything. But even at the time, I really enjoyed it though. But now I can just go back to it, and it's almost like this nostalgia of like being able to see it like an entirely new light. Like it's really cool. Recently, what I saw that I really enjoyed was Mirai Shonen Conan, which is like a Future Boy Conan, I believe is the English title. Which is about it's actually an anime. Like an anime series, like a 26 episode series directed by Hayao Miyazaki of like Studio Ghibli fame. It's pretty good. Like it's about this adventure of this kid named Conan who goes on adventures in like this apocalyptic world. It's pretty good. Zabas asks, "Can you play Spider-Man 3 on PS2?" I can at some point, perhaps. I'm not sure if I still have my copy actually, because I believe I was like, looking through. Actually, I'm not really sure. 'Cause I was looking through like some of my old games recently, and I remember noticing that there were some that I remember having that I didn't seem to have anymore. Um, but at some point, that is a possibility, because I know that is when I first played Spider-Man 3, it was the PS2 version, and so and it is very different. So, you know, like I said to this question here, you know, really, different versions of other Spider-Man games are really kind of like the main Spider-Man games that are left. If that makes sense, like there aren't really too many just straight up Spider-Man games that I haven't done, as much as just like there was weird spin-off versions like Spider-Man 2 on PC and whatnot. Zabas also asks, are you going to play different types of games such as Just Cause 3 or Prototype or Infamous? I think those are very interesting games. I'm curious what you mean by different type, like you're saying that different types of games that from what I already play, or because these are pretty similar games here. Uh, and the games that I play are pretty. I feel like they're pretty random. Like they don't really have any thing much in common. But Just Cause 3, Prototype, or Infamous, those are indeed possible, and you can possibly look forward to them in the future. Out of those, I've played Infamous and I played Just Cause 3. Um, but those are possible, but I'd have no immediate plans or anything. Um, but yeah. In6 asks, do you plan on getting a PS4 to play the new Spider-Man game? I do have a PS4, as and well, I play the new Spider-Man game, as I mentioned some other comments ago, and I mentioned on pretty much every video. I will play the Spider-Man game. Well, it will be immediately, probably not, but at some point you can probably see the new Spider-Man game on this channel. And last but not least, Reaper94 asks, what are your thoughts on hentai? Now, for people that are not in the loop, in English, this hentai basically refers to like animated pornography. Comes from a Japanese word which means like change, basically like this word here, these two words here, which are like one's like change and one's like weird or something like that. What are my thoughts on it? I would say in and of itself, I don't really have any problems with it existing. I'd say that I have better. Like I've mentioned this before. Like someone asked my thoughts on pornography or something like that in one of these question answers videos, but I just find myself having more time, I guess. Like I think that there are better things that one can do with one's time rather than just look at pornography all day, basically. But like, what are my thoughts? Like, do I have like moral thoughts on it or something? The YouTuber Digibro actually recently made a video that I think he encapsulates, like I guess, a lot of my thoughts on just the ethical standpoint of it or whatever. But he was talking about like more quote unquote extreme like depictions, but my views are pretty much in line with his. That's that is that, folks. Hopefully everyone enjoyed. Hopefully everyone's question was answered adequately and whatnot. And until next time, I look at Solidus 1000. Liquid out.